Hello everyone, I'm Yasuhiro Yano, Head Minister of Konko here in Hawaii. Congratulations on your good service in appreciation of our great life force, Teiji Kanenuiakea. As you may know, I'm the father of Rodney Yano Sensei of San Francisco Church. Reverend Masato Kawahase has been one of my great resource ministers who has helped my family and I ever since we arrived in Hawaii back in 1977. He continued to help and is now a great pillar of support for my son, who has been a minister at Konko Church of San Francisco. When my wife and I arrived in Hawaii to take over the responsibility of the Konko Mishiwahiwa in 1977, Kawa Sensei was serving at the Konko Church of White Buffalo. We have found fond memories of the Kawa Sensei and family members due to the ongoing pandemic situation. We are Zoom streaming this service. I pray that it will work out well. I feel humble and honored to be given this opportunity to share my thoughts for today's grand service. Today's service is held in extending and sharing our deep gratitude for the work of the great life force, Teiji Kanenuiakea. The divine Teiji Kanenuiakea, revealed to humanity in 1873, shows the exact nature of Teiji Kanenuiakea in a state that goes, although people live between heaven and earth, they are unaware of Kami's blessings. Shrines, temples, houses, all stand on Kami's plan. Without realizing this, people consult the day's directions and the disrespect to Kami. They suffer hardship due to these offenses. Teiji Kanenuiakea has sent Ikemi Konko Daishi to provide blessings and teachings so that mankind may prosper. Kami is Kami because of man, and man is man because of Kami. Both are fulfilled through this mutual relationship. The annual observance of this grand service is a way to respond to this vital divine message about the nature of the life force, Teiji Kanenuiakea. I have been trying to advocate that we should elevate this annual observance of the grand service in such a manner as Christians celebrating Christmas, or the Buddhists celebrating the Bon Festival, and the secular people also join in all those festivities. So far, limited believers in Konko Office community respond in attending the grand services. The Reverend Masato Kawahase is a very energetic and charismatic Konko minister who has tried to respond to the call throughout his entire life. I believe he would also be one of those people who have dedicated his entire life in helping others through the practice of the Konko Office in America. These days, I have been learning to appreciate the many teachings of the founder Konko Religion through real application of the teaching in a faith life. The teachings, the Konko Scripture, is not an age-old abstract message, but we can practice proving the true nature of the messages that help those in need. One of the messages that have really stood up lately is the following message given to Sato Mitsushi. I'd like to share my thoughts with you for your reference. Though people say that they do not kill others, they do so with their hearts. This is a grave offense. They think killing someone means to shoot with a gun or to stab with a sword, but this is only physical and the obvious. People often kill with their hearts, an offense invisible to their eyes. Kami-sama's heart cannot bear such offenses. When one kills physically, the government punishes. When one kills with his heart, Kami-sama punishes, said Konko-san. Explain how one kills with his heart, he said, saying that a person it is so serious that it cannot be said cured is killing with one's heart. You really don't know if the sick person can be cured or not. People also say that so and so should die. These people are all killing with their hearts. They should instead pray to Kami-sama so the people they are killing will reform their hearts. Personally, I have read this message so many times in my whole life as a Konko minister. Nowadays, use of active shooting take place almost every week have become a new norm in America. This could be unthinkable in Japan, where it is unlawful for regular citizens to possess handguns and assault weapons. I can understand the reason why the people in America adhere to holding guns for themselves. It could be attributed to the history of the nation and our constitutional right. The pioneers simply needed guns to protect themselves for any elements of hostility from the very early stage of the nation. The spirituality of self-defense has been so deeply ingrained in the hearts of American people. As the founder Konko said, they think killing someone means to shoot with a gun or to stab with a sword, but it's only physical and the obvious. People often kill with their hearts, an offense invisible to the eye. Kami-sama's heart cannot bear such offenses. When one kills physically, the government punishes. When one kills with heart, Kami-sama punishes, said Konko. I wonder how Kami-sama would punish those people who kill others with their hearts. As we look around our own lives, the people in the daily interactions, we may be constantly witnessing people who kill others in their hearts. The invisible assault committed by common people have been aggravated due to the stressful situation under the pandemic situation. I received a text message from my niece in Japan just recently. In a message, she stated how people get heavily discriminated and treated as outcasts if they are found to be COVID positive. The news will spread like a wildfire, and their houses will get tagged with threat notice. Rocks are also thrown at their property and the people. Some people hold grudges, curses, hatred, and segregation, which is so many unreasonable killings, both physically and in their hearts. In Japan, they use the term noroi cross, attempt to kill others by means of cursing and killing rituals, much like voodoo. As long as we hold human interactions, we may subconsciously respond to others based on our preference or likes and dislikes. It will be rare to find people who are not likely to respond based on likes and dislikes to other people. The founder Konko may have encountered many occasions in which actually kill people in their hearts and may have witnessed the detrimental effects of both parties and the consequences of invisible spiritual strain. Regardless of error, we still encounter the same situation in this age. In fact, the modern technological advancements have aggravated spiritual strain. Social media bullying can be one of the typical examples. Physically killing someone would be an offense punished by the government, but there are no laws that protect people that have been assaulted or killed by someone's bad heart and intentions. The law tends to intervene if it becomes a physical act. What about suicide? Killing oneself with one's own heart and terminating our given life because we feel trapped. The government cannot punish those who have successfully committed suicide. Does Kami-sama punish those who commit suicide? We shall never know. But one thing is for sure, it leaves the survivors with a deep void and a sadness that will never fade. The only remedy for killing with our hearts could be found in the way we exercise our hearts. The founder Konko used the expression waga kokoro, or divine favor depends upon one's own heart. The heart that Kami-sama accepts can be expressed in one word of waga kokoro, which is the heart of harmony and joy, actualized in acknowledgement of Kami-sama's blessings. I'd like to share with you a personal episode. My elder brother, who has been engaged in orange farming, developed some discomfort in his back in mid-2019. He went to see the doctor and found out he had some serious spinal disorders and was hospitalized immediately. He pretty much went to get checked out of his back pain and stayed at the hospital because it was so serious. Soon after being hospitalized, he lost control of his lower half of his body. He became paralyzed from waist down. My family and I met up with him at the hospital back in November 2019 when we made a pilgrimage to go home with our children and their spouses. My brother was still able to enjoy talking and eating. He looked pretty thin and seems to be in a lot of pain. He had no control over his bowel and urinary functions. For about a year, some of my siblings expressed that his life would probably end in the hospital because there seemed to be no way he was getting better. And he seemed to have been getting complications after complications. But just recently, when I called my family members to find out how he was doing, they said he was just discharged from the hospital on May 10, 2021. He was in the hospital for about 20 months. I just couldn't believe such a thing would ever happen. They didn't even inform me about such good news. If I did not call them, I would have never known. He has been taking care daily at his own house with the support of the nurses and assistant staff. The amazing thing was that some of his sensations returned to his feet, and he was even able to move his toes and feet. This development was unimaginable, but through much divine blessings, it was possible. The only thing I can say that it has been the blessings of Kami-sama that he has been able to sustain his life and recover to this extent. If I constantly thought that it would be impossible for my brother to get better and thought my brother would die in the hospital, I would have been killing him with my heart. In the initial stage of treatment, the pain in his legs was so torturous that he begged the doctor to stop the pace by cutting off his legs. That was actually one of the options. However, my sister strongly rejected the idea. She said he should keep the legs intact since they were given by Kamisama. In Japan, if there is just one family member who opposed to a procedure, that procedure will be cancelled. It could be a divine arrangement that he kept his legs. My brother used to say that he could not die until he passes the Konko face onto his descendants. In this way, Kamisama might have somehow heard his deep endeavors to publish the Konko faith tradition in the family. I'd like to quote one of the messages I always write down in my prayer book as a daily reminder. When the people of the world pray to Ikemi Konko Religion with a sincere and simple heart, please fulfill whatever request they have. I write down this message daily because the founder Konko Religion has kept this message to heart. And many people have continued to receive divine blessings from Tenchi Kanenuiakea through praying to Ikemi Konko Religion with a sincere and single heart. It is not up to us to make decisions of whether one is to live or die. It's all determined through the will of Tenchi Kanenuiakea. In any case, pray to Ikemi Konko Religion sincerely and single-heartedly. In concluding my message, we must be careful that we are not intentionally or unintentionally killing people with our hearts. Thank you very much for listening. ありがとうございました。